What's up, guys? We're gonna roll beats, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make good melodies every time. If you guys haven't subbed already, or turn posts on, make sure you do so, because it does happen a lot. So that's how I right into it. Now, I was gonna wait to show you the simple version later in the video, but I'll trust y'all that you're not gonna mess the watch time up. Now, if you don't know what watch time is, it's pretty much the most important stats in order for your video to get recommended or posted, not posted, but promoted on YouTube, right? It's the most important stat, okay? But I'm gonna trust y'all and I'm gonna do it right now in the beginning. And then I have these drums just for reference, so whatever melody we come up with, you can kind of hear what it would sound like in a beat. So I'm gonna just play them. Right, very, very simple. So let's hide these and let's get this started. So I'm gonna start a new one, and what we could do, go on the piano roll. Now, when you first start a melody, you probably have some chords. I'm gonna just play some stuff randomly, okay? Right, then you make the bass notes, and then after this, when you make your melody, you probably click around, right? You're probably like, I like this C. Okay, I like that note. And then you just keep going until you just find something, right? And that takes way too long. So you don't have to do that anymore, okay? You don't have to do that anymore. Let's make this larger. Now, keep in mind, this is the simple version, so I'm gonna only do 2 chords. So we can go with, let's do E. Probably go down. And let's just make a little chord here. Let's make it a little bit more realistic. Let's put some bass notes. All right, we don't got to look at them, but they'll be there. So this is step 1. Just get some chords. All right, you could get some chords from a pack. You could get some chords from your old beats, something. Just get some chords. Now, the better your chords, so these chords are really, like, they sound really good together, right? There's really no tension, really, right? So the less tension, or just the better your chords sound, the easier time you're gonna have with this method. Like, it's gonna be so easy to make a melody, all right? So here's the method, right? This is what you're gonna do in this order. You wanna take the middle note out of this chord, right? All of these chords, right? So if you have 4 chords here, you would take the middle note of all of them. Take that middle note, pull it up an octave. And you ask, why do you take the middle note? Well, it's gonna give you more range to work with. Because assuming you want somebody to rap on this, you don't want the range to be too high. Because if you start with the top note, as you can see, that's like super high. If you start your melody up here, right? Which you can do that, right? But right now we just want to make sure it works 100% of the time. So we just want to do what works, right? Because that's the point of this video. And I think I messed up I don't even know what note I had. Was it this? All right, so let's get to it. So copy this up. Now, what I like to do is just kind of like tap this a little bit like that. Just kind of get a rhythm going for the melody. Okay, so we could play this. Right, sounds pretty good. Next step, right, in this order. Now, I'll show you later a complex method where you don't have to do this way, right? But just for now, in this order works 100% of the time, okay? Now, you want to take the lowest note. You don't want to take this one yet. Take the lowest note, copy this, do the same process, right? And we're just gonna, of course, I knew that was gonna happen. All right, let's pull these up an octave, shrink it, and you just create a little cool rhythm if you want, right? All right, and now you could take the top one, pull it over. Right, now you have a melody. Right, now you can take out notes and add some notes, right? Now, obviously, this is not the best melody. Like, this is not gonna give you the best melody in the world, but it's a start, right? So now you could go in and fix things up. All right, so that's pretty much the method. Now we're gonna go ahead and do this on a more complex chord progression, as if we were trying to make a beat with it, so you can see how to actually get creative with it. All right, so now what we need to do, I'm just grabbing the scale so that you can see kind of what I'm seeing and doing in the background. We could just, let's just use a G minor, G sharp minor, yeah, okay. All right, we have that in the background just to start. So let's put some chords down, and we can just make these very simple at first. So let's, probably want to zoom out a little bit more. Okay, let's just make some chords and maybe pull these down. And then now we can just take these lower notes and do some, and maybe even do something like this. Let's check this out. All right, so that's our first step, right? We got some basic chords. So now we need to, I guess I would say, normalize it so that the range isn't so crazy. So what we can do is invert things. Now we don't have to do this, but I want to make this as complicated as possible, because when you go and make your beat, you're probably going to invert notes and stuff, right? So you need to know how to apply this method to that, right? So I'm gonna try to make this really easy to see. So what we can do is we could just take these two notes, for example, and pull these down an octave. All right. And I guess we could leave this one. This is a pretty good transition. But we'll make this transition a little smoother. So we could take maybe these top two and pull them down. And let's just see how that sounds. If everything sounds good, we should be fine. Okay, I think that's good. And I probably should color these quick. All right, so those are the chords. So now let's actually get to applying this method with our melody. All right, so I'll remove the ghost notes so we can just see the chords in the background. And I'm using another VST so we don't have to flip flop and keep pulling stuff up an octave and stuff, okay? So how I want to do this now is I want to split this up into three tiers, actually. First tier will be completely following the rules. So the first method, like the simple method I showed you, we're going to completely follow the rules, right? So whatever we see here, so out of this is the middle note. Out of this is the middle note. Out of these chords here, this is the middle note. And this is a bass note, so don't even worry about that. And out of these notes, this is the middle note. That's completely following the rules. And then in the next tier, it'll be finding the real middle note. And then after that, we'll be breaking the rules. So we already placed these, right? So this is completely following the rules. Now I like to always add multiple notes to make it sound more like a melody. So it'll sound good, but sometimes it might sound a little bit stale. So let's listen to it. All right, doesn't sound bad at all. So remember, we could just continue the rules, right? So I'm not trying to make this sound good. I'm just trying to get a point across. All right, and we can pull these up. Now remember, right? Now we can use our top note, right? Now that rhythm is not a good rhythm for a melody, right? I could probably make it a lot better, but that is the first tier, right? That's completely following the rules. Even if your chords are inverted or you have some complex chords, right? You can still get a good melody and do this, right? So let's move on to tier 2. All right, so now we have tier 2. Now, what we need to do is find the original. So the original chord to this, right? We need to find the original middle note, because this is the surface, right? We could just do this. But if we want the melody to sound more interesting and stuff, we want to find the original. So how do we do that? We can go back to our chords and we could just pull these two up, or however you want to find it, right? Either way works. So we know B is our middle note, right? And then the next step to placing the note would be using the lowest note, right? And then landing back on the highest note in that order, okay? Let's pull these back up. Right, and so start on our middle note, because this is our original middle note, right? I know it doesn't look that way, but this is our original middle note. And then we want to go to our lowest note, which is our G sharp. So you could go low, but I'm gonna go higher to make it a little bit more interesting. And then we land on our highest note, right? Now I know it looks weird, but you can see this is our highest note, this is our middle note, and our lowest note. It just is inverted, so that's why it looks weird. So now we can just speed through these. Now we look down at our lowest note, our bass notes, and you can look and see and check. So we can tell that this chord it's like the original chord, right? So we could just breeze through this one. We could place our lowest note, land on the highest note. Over here, okay, this chord looks a little weird. So what we could do is pull this up, check it. Okay, it's the actual chord, it's a major. So G sharp is our middle note and our lowest note is E. You can see how this works pretty much every time, because as long as your chords are right, your melody should be right. So let's, for the most part, and then you could play around, but I'm gonna just go down here. All right. And then the last one, same thing, pull these up. Okay, this is A sharp is our middle note, and then we could land on that F sharp. And if we need to land on this C sharp, if we want to finish it off, we can. Right, and I don't know if I want to land on this, but I'm gonna place it just so we're consistent. So I'll play it. All right, you can see how much more interesting it is than the first way, right? So that's tier 2. So now let's move on to tier 3. All right, so now tier 3 is the most fun part, because from here, all you need to do is just fill in the blanks or move notes around to just fit the style that you like or the melody that you like. Now, if you want to be lazy and you like, look, I just need a good guide. This is what you could do. You can highlight all the notes like I've done already, and you can pull these over. And what this is gonna do is create a custom scale for the melody that you already have, right? So now you can fill these in. Now my notes, I have a lot of them, so it's gonna pretty much fill out the real scale, but now we know the exact notes that work within our chords and everything. So, and I'll just cut these real quick. So now that we have a custom scale, you can't really mess up. You're free to just play around. And I think this is right. Okay. And we just go within this little custom scale for our melody, right? So I'm gonna probably just do this one and then breeze through the others. And then we could just, I'm gonna just breeze through this. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. All right. Okay, you can see how easy it is to just come up with a melody with this, right? And even if maybe you only have, I don't know, 5 notes, right, that you have over this side, you can still do this method. You can copy it over, create you a scale. You don't have to actually create a scale yourself, right? You can just look at the notes, but I just want to visually show you what I'm looking at. All right. And of course I could work on this part to make it sound like something I really like. But I just want to show you this briefly, but that's pretty much it, man, for this video. So what I'm gonna do is we can just leave it as is. All right, I already showed y'all what I wanted to show you, so we could take these bass notes. And just real quick, I just want to show you just an example of, just how it would kind of sound within the beat. No, it's not anything crazy at all. Like literally, it's not. But all right, let's play it with the beat. All right, real quick, I just want to show y'all the changes I made. I should have recorded this, but I didn't plan on actually doing anything with this. But I just want to show y'all the changes. So all I did was just add a little piano. I just took out some of the notes. All right, so it blends better. And I just added this. This is just for the outro beat, right? It's just nothing crazy. It's just to make it sound a little bit more full. All right, and then these are the changes that I made to the actual melody. And really all I do is change stuff over here. I wanted it to sound a little bit more catchy, so I just added a melody that repeated. All right, simple as that. All right, you can see how easy it is to make this melody. Now, this took a long time because obviously you gotta remember I'm making a tutorial, right? If I was actually making a beat, this would have took like a minute to 2 minutes to do, right? So that's it for this video, man. Hopefully you enjoy. I really hope this method helps some of y'all out because I think it will. But that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.